Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fan.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, and you are in the Java Cafe. First thing I'm going to say is they're predicting a possible blizzard this weekend. So I just needed to get that out early and in the open. It's interesting here in Dorchester. There is a lot of commentary about the response pre of the snowstorm as far as the city. Also, some misunderstanding of jurisdiction, what the mayor controls, what the governor controls, who makes decisions about when school closes and shutting down the state and the city. So it's interesting because snowstorms tend to bring to light the need for more civic education. Did I frame that right? Okay. We have not been solo, I don't think, in a few days. And so it is my pleasure this morning to be able to check in with everyone, say hello. And we're going to talk about what it is that we are considering doing for ourselves for Testimony Tuesday. What are you testing yourself with this year to grow? There's definitely the things that are out of our control that are testing us. A lot of things. But let's be intentional about testing ourselves for spaces of growth. Do me a favor. First of all, just want to again say welcome to everybody here in the Java Cafe, and do me a favor, invite others to come in. Hit that like, hit that share button, and ask them to come into the Java Cafe and be a part of the conversation. Let's go in and see who is in so far this morning. First up, as often, is our Mama Java. Good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning, Ma. Also, Milagro, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Nisi, good morning to you. I know you can't wait to get out of here. I know you can't wait to get down to the south. I know it's coming. Sister Soraya, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Jenny, what's up, sis? Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. All right, we got folks over on the Facebooks. Uh-oh. Look who's in the room bright and early this morning. Good morning to you, brother. Good to see you in the room. Father's on the move. Angela, I am. Minister Reverend, Minister, good morning over on Instagram. And also Talian, I think I got that right, Talian Love. Y'all know me in pronunciation. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing a whole show where folks are going to give me words and names, and I'm supposed to attempt to pronounce them in real time correctly. We'll see how that goes. All right. A few things I want to mention to you this morning. Tomorrow, I don't want, all right, the Real Boston Media, I don't want what we talking about, but the energy feels messy. I don't know what we're talking about, but the energy feels messy. I'm not being messy. Good morning, nephew. Good to see you in the room this morning, Brother Chris. A few things to mention to you as far as programming and dates. We are doing a whole week this week. Tomorrow, we have Cindy Diggs, who is the Peace Commissioner, who's coming to chat with us about the kickoff for the 30th. I believe it's the 30th anniversary of the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute and the 26th March. I'm not exactly sure. But Cindy's going to come in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to chat with us about it. She has been involved with the Peace Institute for 23 years. She reminded me today that I made a referral to her, to the Peace Institute for her 23 years ago. So, and Brother Mario, Brother Sam, and others, Rachel, Allie and whatnot, and Brother, oh God, Kamal, others that have been there and been so helpful for so many years. It is definitely appreciated. So Pastor Sharon Cornelius, good morning. Good to see you in the room. The Real Boston Media is I guess that segment's going to be called Words with Java. It's going to be interesting. Cam Newton. I I never really got into Cam Newton. He doesn't really do I don't know. I just football period. I haven't been involved, haven't paid attention since COVID. When Tom Brady left, everybody was like, oh, people were dying. So I have not got back into football since 2020. I will say this. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. That is definitely something very, very exciting. And another part of that that's okay, I got to try to stay focused. But another part of that that's interesting for me is everything that Cardi B and Stefan Diggs, they're being very public with their relationship. And I don't know if it's true, but I saw some social media posts with Cardi with the picture saying that they're expecting twins. The thing that's interesting about this is, as public as you are when things are good, y'all know we have the tendency to be a little public when they see. That's why I dropped my coaster. When things don't go so good, we have, the tendency to be a little public too. And so not really football commentary, but I just had that thought because they are sort of America's couple right now. And I'm going to leave that right there. Dot Bowers, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you. The Real Boston Media also said we ain't rocking with Brady right now. He on timeout. Yeah, he's a Ronald Dump supporter. Nicole Hart, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Our brother DL jumped on over on Instagram. Good to see you in the room, brother. All right, a couple of other things to mention. Cindy's coming on tomorrow at 10 a.m. Also, on Thursday, Reverend Jeffrey Brown and brother Amari Paris Jeffries. Interesting, Jeffrey Brown, Amari Paris Jeffries. The two of them are coming on tomorrow as a part of the team of the P3 development. You all know that for almost the past week and a half, if not a little bit more, we've talked about the designation of P3. And there's a lot of community pushback. And my stance on this is make the education and the social economic engine Black driven. Make that happen. That's the only resolve in this situation. Madison Park, New School, My City at Peace, and HYM. I can't keep reiterating that enough. That's the only resolve for over there. Bring the developers back into City Hall, into the Eagle Room, Kairos, the mayor, Dion, and figure it out. And also the developers have to, do their part as well. So Thursday, we're going to speak with Reverend Brown and also Amari to talk about P3. There is a community meeting scheduled now. This brings up another topic. There's a community meeting scheduled for Monday, February 2nd, 2026 at 12th Baptist Church with the developers to talk about P3. However, they're also expecting the potential of a blizzard on the East Coast this weekend. So I'm not sure if the meeting will take place on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. Of course, I'll be looking at the weather as well to prepare. Y'all start going to the store now. I don't know if the shelves are restocked with toilet tissue, bread, and people just, please. I had like 4 packs of meat and still I can make probably about 7 meals out of that. So anyway, and to get back to programming, on Friday, Calvin Feliciano will be with us, and we're going to talk Boston politics. And Calvin is well informed. Calvin is experienced. Calvin is also very shady in a good way. He says the things sometimes that I won't. And so yes, Friday at 10 a.m. Calvin Feliciano will be with us. So Wednesday, Cindy Diggs. Thursday, My City at Peace and Embrace Boston. And also Friday, Calvin Feliciano. All right, that's our programming. Also, next week, don't forget on Thursday, it's the first Thursday already, and we will be at GBH. So next week's programming will be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday we will be on at 12:30 p.m. live from GBH for GBH Amplifies James Jimmy Hills, host of Java with Jimmy. So let's go check in with the comments, and then I'm going to challenge you all to be a part of a conversation around Testimony Tuesday in just a couple of seconds. I haven't left my place since Saturday. I posted a picture. I posted a picture of heading to my stepdad's car to go to work. It's horrible out there. It is bad out there. And I haven't left the house since Friday. I went out Thursday. Newt told me to go to the store on Thursday instead of waiting till Friday. And I think I went on Thursday or Friday. So I've been in the house since then. I had a quick trip the other day and ran to the store. My landlord came by to do some of the shoveling and stuff. I was like, yo, can you run me to? No, came by. Oh, no, he came by to clear out one of the vents. I was like, yo, can you run me around the corner real quick? That was on Sunday. So, yeah. Nicole, I get it. It's cold. It's nasty. Also, you know, Dina is on. I also seen hers and others post about snow mounds, bus stops, side streets not being cleared. There's there's always room for improvement when it comes to handling, and post the snow. Because I've worked in City Hall, I understand some of the philosophy around them waiting until the snow stops. Sometimes they pre-treat. Sometimes the forecast tells them that it's coming at 12 noon, and then at 8 a.m., here's the snow. And they were going to pre-treat between 8 and things. Also, you know, all employers aren't honoring the request of the governor that your non-essential employees allow them to work from home because it decreases traffic on the street. And also, our main arteries, they're cool, they're okay. I'm hearing that the bus stops have not been shoveled out, and that technically is not on the city. That's on the state, which and the MBTA, which is a state agency. What was the other thing? The main arteries are definitely I've seen some pictures and some videos that they're okay. But a lot of the side streets, it's interesting. You can't bring every street in Boston, especially in certain parts of Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, definitely East Boston, the North End, West Roxbury. I'm not sure. I'm not that familiar. The streets are narrow, and if you got cars that are parked on both sides of the streets, a regular plow, my street alone, a regular plow cannot come down the street. It just can't. It's with the wide, you know, thing, unless you want your cars messed up, or unless they say, you know, one side parking only, and then after the snow clears, you know, people pull to the other side and they come back to clear the other side. It's a lot. It's a lot. I've seen comments about, well, why can't we get the machines to melt the snow? That's it. The snow is going to melt anyway. And I remember one time, I don't want to lie, there was either talk about doing it or they did it, but there was a snowstorm so bad that they went and picked up all the snow and they dropped it in as Bostonians say, the harbor. And if I remember right, I think they either talked, I think they did it, and I think it was my former. I'm not sure, so I don't want to get in trouble. Jenny, thank you for that. So in addition to your walkways that should be cleaned, what is it, 6 hours, under 6 hours after the snow stops, also be considerate of fire hydrants. The snow freezes them. That's an issue. But if they can get some sun, and also they, you know, they have a way of maybe getting the hydrants unfrozen. But they need to be able to get to the hydrants. So if you are able to, especially our brothers, and you're shoveling your sidewalk and you see a hydrant, shovel that out, because you don't want it to be that you need the water for something that happens, space heaters and things like that. Something happens in your house or your neighbor's house and they can't get to the water. So Jenny, thank you so much for that. Milagro said, this is the first time out since the snow and only because of an appointment. And be careful out there, Milagro. Dina said, there is nowhere to put the snow, so people shoveling out cars are throwing it in the street. And that is, it's something that in some, I remember Mayor Menino, one year he was hot, because that was known that as soon as the plows come through, depending on when you would go out and what do you call it? Shovel your car out and there's no place to put the snow. Like, I have a mound in front of my car and in the back of my car. And away from digging in and bringing the snow over to the about maybe 10 feet away into the front part of the yard. And my plans right now, I'm going to turn the car on, test the battery, make sure everything's good. I'm not moving. I'm not shoveling anything out. And when I decide to, if it's still some there, I'm going to hit up a couple of young boys and be like, yo, come shovel me out. And here's a few dollars and some cocoa. All right, let's catch up with the comments. Again, there's a lot of comments here. Dina is saying all roads were reduced. People don't want to wait and let cars by. There are no outs from sidewalks to get on the buses, no entrances to get on some curbs when crossing the street. People are in the street, and that's not safe, and so sidewalks are our responsibility in front of your property. Public sidewalks, that's different. I know the mayor did the pre-conference. I don't know if there's been any either interviews or she's been asked about how she feels about the response. Speaking of that, the mayor will be with us next Wednesday, February 4th, at 10 a.m. So keep that in mind for programming as well. Let me check some more comments. Jay, no shoveling. Love you, James. Love you too. I appreciate them being over on Instagram. We'll be hearing from them or their colleagues soon from Boston Harbor Now. Good to see you over on Instagram, Jay. Jay, there's a word that's coming to my head. I'm a little bit of a Devo. I just, when I have to, I can do it. I just don't. I'm older now. Shoot. All right. Catching up with the comments. Dina said, when you have, excuse me, when you have apartment buildings with no yards and you're shoveling out cars in front, where do you put the snow? It's a mess. Also, you have to shovel 42 inches wide, the sidewalk with no small path, because wheelchairs by law, if someone's in a wheelchair, they need to be able to get through on the sidewalk, and you'll get a ticket. And so, and that's going to, that may start happening soon, where they go out and put the tickets because you didn't shovel. So it's interesting being a landlord. And there's conversations that I've had with folks, and I'm 55, 45. I don't mind renting as long as it's nice and everything's good. And speaking of Testimony Tuesday, one of these Tuesdays, I'm going to fill you all in about my living situation. Oh, it's wonderful, but how it got wonderful is interesting. So, but I'm 55% on renting, because something goes wrong. Landlords right now, let me tell you what landlords are going through right now. Shoveling, increase. All of us are dealing with, if you don't, if utilities are not included in your rent, all of us realizing how much heat we're using. If you got tenants and they're, subsidizing some heat with space heaters, that puts a strain on the circuit breakers. That's interesting. Number one thing, frozen pipes. I don't want those issues. I don't. Only me in a house, it has to be a new build, newly renovated. 8 inspectors have to sign off on everything. So, all right. Here. Sharon, you shoveled Sharon, call some of them deacons from the church. You're a mother and a widow. Mashaya. Sorry. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to behave. Jenny said the only time I'm happy, I don't have a car. Absolutely. Similar to what I was saying about owning a house, Jenny. I mean, you don't have them problems. The most you got to do is wait on Lyft and Uber and pray they're not surging prices. Dina also said, you know that there needs to be a limit on how many contacts a snow removal business can hold based off amount of employees, because if you have 5 employees but 10 contacts, how are you removing all of the snow in a timely manner? All right, let me read that again. You know there needs to be a limit on how many contacts a snow removal business can hold based off the amount of employees, because if you have 5 employees but 10 contacts, how are you the ratio of getting the snow removal with the contacts, the GPS stuff, that because some years ago they put GPS on the contract. So let's clarify another thing. All of the plowing is not done directly by the city. They can't do it. They subcontract other contractors. And the belief and hope is that when you sign that contract, you're going to abide by what the expectation is. And does it fluctuate? 2 hours before the anticipated, you must go and pre-treat and salt. And within 3 hours of declaring that the snow has paused and or stopped, you need to make 10 sweeps down every street. You need to have the ability to have smaller trucks to get down the smaller streets. When I was in Roxbury, the street I was on, that was not a plow. That wasn't even maybe a 150. That little thing that would come through over there, because the streets are smaller. So to Dina's point, the city trusts and believe that the contractors are going to do what they're contracted to do. Hence, some of them, at one point, I remember there was some like GPS monitoring. I don't know if it was just the city trucks or the contractors too, but it's always there. There is never a perfect outcome from, and hear me what I say, from the prediction to the cleanup. And why I say the prediction is because, and this is morally on the weather people, and they don't know, they're not God. We've had a few flubs. Everybody getting ready, everybody going to the store, the city's ready and prepared, schools canceled, and nothing. And preparation for the snow, cleanup, post the snow. I don't recall one major snowstorm where everybody is like, we did it. Everything was perfect. So it's just interesting. I see the Instagram name and it automatically Brother Jesse, what's up? Oh my God, I'm voting for someone if I'm still. He said he's voting for someone else. You'll still be here. The election is in 4 years, Jesus. You will still be here, young man. Good to see you over on Instagram. Sharon Cornelius and my mother are talking about. I love Sharon. Sharon said they big, they don't live with me. I didn't want to wait. Oh, see, Sharon, now there's a balance. If they married with children and whatnot, you know, no, God, the mothers don't want to hear this. The home and the wife and the girlfriend or whatever, they come first. Then they'll come over and shovel you out. So Sharon, you got to be, patience is a virtue. It's a demonstration of the fruit of the spirit. Hey, glory. Thank you, Jesus. I felt that. No, sir. All right. Listen, it's 10:31. Before we get ready to go, I want to ask you all for Testimony Tuesday. We often talk about the fact that there are tests that come our way that we have no control over. I know somebody in here right now that's supposed to be getting ready to go out of town. And depending on the weather and if the flights catch up, that might be interesting. That's a test that's out of your control. But we discovered, thanks to Michelle D. Smith and Thaddeus in a conversation, we were talking about not just tests of like strife and things that fight us, but what is the testimony around some things that we are purposeful about in our growth? For example, I've been wanting to do yoga. But now my thing is, I've reached out to people to teach me. I'm committed, but I know me. Videos and going to a class, not happening. Working out and yoga, I'm big into form, because if the form isn't right, you're not getting the full benefit. You sitting up in the gym just and you're not doing it right, you're not getting the full benefit. So, for example, I want to do yoga. That will test my commitment, my patience, my body, my bones, my joints, my muscles. So I'm going to ask you all in the comments to participate with me and let me know what it is. Milagro said patience. What is that? Shamika, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. I know you'll be at the health fair. What is it that you're going to test yourself with this year to grow? Put those in the comments for me, and we'll get ready to wrap up after that. Sharon said, at work, I still have to carry them dinners on my shoulder, trying to keep it. I love Sharon that you just be wise and take care of yourself, please, while you're looking wonderful and whatnot. All right, come on, you all. Obviously, we know that Milagros. So patience is one of those things that for many years I would not pray for. I didn't want patience. I want just enough to survive, not be stressed out, and just enough to kind of like wait. But you have to realize that if you want increased patience, the only way you get increased patience and your patience grows is if you be put in situations where you have to wait. And this is me. I don't like waiting on anybody or anything. Due dates, check arrivals, invoices paid. If there's an expected date, yeah. So patience is a little Milagro at your own pace. Mama Java said, learn to say no. Good. That's a good one for you, Ma. Learn to say no. Leave that right there. Come on, you all. What are you working on this year to improve yourself? I'm going to give us a couple of more minutes. Uh-oh. Dina sent this. Oh, boy. Now, to the credit of what I said about the main throughways, that is somewhere in the area of Dudley Street. I ain't putting Dina's hole where she live at out there. That is in the vicinity of Dudley Street. And I haven't seen the main roads, but I can look out my window and tell you that the only thing that can come down this street is what's the thing? The yellow truck with the scoop thing on the front, and they can attach a smaller plow to it. Not the dump truck. Anyway, it side streets are always an issue. But here's the thing. Call 311, because the thing is, the mayor and a few folks that run that, ever since they implemented the closing time on that dashboard of how long a case and a ticket stays open, one, it's just a good thing to do if constituents have needs. But there's a little extra energy of not having a report that comes in about a street corner that has snow on it. And it's not the property manager, it's a mound there. The property manager shoveled and got the snow in the proper wide, regulated width. So you see things for city. So that is it's easy to say what bus stops is not the city. Side streets and stuff is the city, but there are certain streets that are in Boston that are not the city. Morton Street, not the city. Gallivan Boulevard, I think, is the city. Malnia Cass, I think, is the state. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's some ambiguity, and so jurisdiction of who has what and whatnot. Bus stops are definitely the MBTA. Property owners have the responsibility to clear out in front of their property. Now, residents do okay. That last snow, I went to the store. I won't say what business, but commercial properties, they're interesting. Some residents too, because there's nothing like walking down a sidewalk and you get in front of one house and there's 8 feet of snow and ice and they didn't do anything. I just had a thought, so I'm going to say it. And speaking of that, Sarita, hopefully you got an email over to the chief. We had Centoria Grant tag me in something, and I did what I needed to do. And so hopefully that is getting resolved for you, sis. Nicole said that one of her things, we're getting back to what we're testing ourselves with this year. Nicole said that she's asking for help when needed and stop trying to do it all by myself. Definitely good. Mama Java wants to recycle more. That is definitely good. Taking care of the earth. Jenny said that boundaries, setting boundaries. Dina, you are nice. Dina, yeah, because Dina can get you together real quick. But you are. All right. What are you working on? A couple of other folks, let me know what you're working on. Milagro said, I need to work on self-care. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ask Alexa. She can help you. That's something with Milagro and I. All right. I'm caught up with the comments. Quincy Barbosa. I like that name. Michelle Brasfield, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Jay said, starting small and consistent 2-ish minutes of morning stretching. You better than me. Well, I do want to do the yoga. I don't know. I tried the video, and either from them switching the angle and me trying to be lined up just like them, so I'm looking at it and doing, man, listen. Shout out to Jay for them doing the stretching in the morning. All right. Oh, a recycled truck. Are you saying, Mom, that they can use that to get down the smaller streets? Some of those recycled trucks are just as big as the trash cans. And trash day is going to be, where are you going to put the trash cans? Interesting. But guess what? As a renter, I ain't got to worry about it. And I don't take advantage. I have a good property owner. I called him on Saturday and he was here Sunday taking care of stuff. So Dot Bowers, Nicole Flint is absolute best beginners and expert teach techniques for yoga. She's not your average yoga teacher. I think that's actually her name. Is her website. Not your average yoga teacher is her website. Come this Monday to Rosin. Come this Monday to Rosendale Community Center at 10 a.m. First of all, I got the show at 10 a.m. It's Dot. You're low-key calling me out. I feel my face getting a little warm, so I think you embarrassed me because I feel my face getting warm means I'm about to turn red. And there's a couple of brothers that I know that teach yoga that I've been like, yo, like, so. Mother said, I thought you were talking about going down your street. Yeah. A smaller recycle truck could, but I can't think of the it wasn't the recycle truck, Ma. It was, what is the yellow truck? I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Dot, thank you so much. Appreciate you for that. And that's a good sister. And let me tell you about Nicole Flint, because I interacted with her on social media yesterday. So, and this will be the last thing. Brother West, or Kanye West, because some people don't call him brother no more. He put out this long, I didn't read it. He put out this long missive in the New York Times about basically the little skim I did was he apologized, he hurt people. He didn't say he wasn't his, thank you, Ma, cat truck. He wasn't in his right mind or something like that or whatever. And so I shared it and I said, hey, and we talked about this, I think yesterday about, oh no, it's been it was a thread on social media. Maybe we talked about it yesterday, but are we going to give grace and at what level are we going to apply grace to people that are supporting Ronald Dump? There's some people that look like you and I that despite everything that's going on, that still sign off and support that person. And so, excuse me, what she said was, I made beef stew in my slow cooker today. And there were other comments like that. Like it was so irrelevant that, and yo, when I tell you, and if you know Nicole, to hear her tone of voice saying that. So shout out to Sister Nicole Flint. We may need to have her on here to talk a little bit about if you want to get started with yoga. And Dina said, check out this site, the Better You Institute. Thank you for that. Milagro said, not your fault if people can't handle the truth. Dot Bauer said, I love you and want you to do it, my healing hands. We have to definitely take care of ourselves, and we have to be intentional, as we talked with Dr. Ronke yesterday. And I'm going to put some clips up. We got to keep your cup full and give out the saucer and the overflow. And look who comes in just in time for us to talk about giving out the saucer and keeping your cup refilled. Hi, Donna. Janky. Good to see you in the room. I don't call her Donna no more. She's Janky. We don't want to be janky because we're giving out and we're giving out and we're giving out and we're not filling our own cup. And so some of what you all said in here around how you want to test yourself this year. Sharon said something. I could work on being a tad nicer also. Everyone doesn't handle the truth like I thought. I'll work on my timing along with being nicer. Absolutely. And maybe that's what Milagro was referring to. It's not her fault that people can't handle the truth. And I will say this in balance, and I had to learn this the hard way, and we'll definitely go after this. The truth is the truth. And first of all, let's be clear about what the Bible says about the truth. The Bible says, you shall know the truth, and the truth really that you know shall set you free. The truth as it just is sitting there does you nothing. It's just there. You got to read, you got to research, you got to learn. And so even in that, sometimes when you have to present people with the truth, the difference of presenting it to them on a platter, nice and prepared. Imagine if you had a steak, a wonderful filet mignon or short. I like short ribs. 3 or 4 nice thick short ribs, and it's prepared perfectly. You got some chimichurri sauce, and you got some gravy, and you got some A1, and you got some red hot. Have 4 different flavor profiles, and then mix those up and have 12. And it's a Michelin chef that cooked it. Good. But imagine if they bought it out on the top, the lid of a trash can. You wouldn't want it. So when we present the truth, first of all, we need to look in the mirror sometimes and present truths to ourselves about us, gracious truths, be kind to ourselves. But then when we're sharing truths with other people, it is important in how we present it. So I've seen a few people in here talk about that. And to Dina's point, tone, that's basically what I'm saying. The tone of how you deliver. And Sharon brought up another point of when, because sometimes in the moment, their spirit ain't ready, their soul ain't ready to hear the truth. Their ears may be open, but it's going in and going out the other. So, all right, that's it for me today. Union Capital members, you all get an hour this morning. I'm not staying on until 11 today. We will be back tomorrow morning with Cindy Diggs, so please join us and spread the word about that. And I think that is it for me this morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Cindy Diggs, the Peace Commissioner, kicking off the Mothers Walk for Peace fundraising for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. So please plan to be a part of that show tomorrow. Okay, no new comments. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.